Alright, this is John Colo at discountjuicers.com. You caught me. I'm just making my fresh carrot juice in the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer today. And the reason for this episode is a very important one. It's because I want to explain to you guys that there is more in the fresh made juice than just the fiber. And you might be thinking, wait a second, John, you're juicing in the juicer. The whole purpose of the juicer is to remove the fiber, right? I mean, as you guys can see, we made this fresh juice right here. And over on this side, you're saying, John, that's all the pulp, man. That's all the fiber, right? And you're saying, juice, that's extracted liquid sugar, man. It's bad for you. Well, you're going to want to pay attention to this video because this is one of the most important videos I've ever made on this YouTube channel. So the first thing I like to say is that there's two types of fiber. There's the insoluble fiber that is pretty much all extracted in the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer. If I squeeze this insoluble fiber out, it's pretty good. It's pretty dry. It got like a lot of the juice out. And then there's soluble fiber. So the soluble fiber dissolves in liquids, in water. And guess what juice is? It's all water. It's all liquids. So there's still the soluble fiber in the juice, right? And furthermore, depending on what juicer you use, there's also going to be the insoluble fiber in the juice. So what we're going to do now, this is the juice that came out of the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer. We're going to go ahead and pour it through this sieve right here. And as you guys can see, the juice coming out, the bottom has been sieved, but then in this top sieve right here, we're left all the fiber. All the insoluble fiber. There's already soluble fiber in there. And check it out. The Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer actually leaves a bunch of the insoluble fiber in the juice. So if you drink the juice, you're getting the insoluble and the soluble if you don't strain it. Of course, many people will strain out their juices because they don't like the extra fiber. But I do encourage you to drink a juice with the fiber because there may be nutrients in the fiber. Now, I know a lot of you guys are like, have a NutriBullet or a Vitamix and like blend stuff up, and you guys don't ever juice because you're like, juicing is a waste of time because you lose the fiber. So we just showed that there's two types of fiber, and in certain juicers you get some fiber. And to further illustrate this point, I made up a chart. I'll put up a link down below this video to this chart. You can download off our website, discountjuicers.com. This chart shows the total fiber, soluble and insoluble fiber in different produce items. So, many common items that would be juice. So, for example, kohlrabi in one cup has 4.9 grams of total fiber. And of that, 1.5 is insoluble. That's like this side, right? The hard fiber. And 3.4 grams is soluble fiber. So, in the kohlrabi, there's actually more soluble fiber in it, right? So you're going to get more of the fiber if you juice the kohlrabi in you because it's soluble, it's in there. And yeah, maybe it's not 100% of all the soluble fiber because some maybe still on this side that didn't get extracted. But let's go down to the carrots. The carrots basically have 48% of the fiber in carrots is the soluble kind. So even when you're juicing carrot juice and drinking carrot juice that's been filtered out like this, you're getting nearly half the fiber from the carrots. So you're still getting fiber even in the juice. And some people think that there's no fiber in juice. Well, yes, there's soluble fiber, and if you don't strain it out, you're going to get the insoluble fiber as well. And a lot of people say, John, reason why you shouldn't juice is because when you drink the juices, it goes right to your bloodstream because there's no fiber in it. So, once again, there's two types of fiber. The insoluble, and that's the kind that kind of keeps you regular, right? Keeps things moving through your digestive tract. And there's the soluble kind of fiber that is actually one of the roles of this fiber is to slow down the absorption of the sugars into your bloodstream. So even if you're drinking a fresh juice, right, that you made yourself in your juicer, we're not talking about this kind of juice here. This juice is heat processed juice, ultra fine, filtered. I don't even know if they use chemical extraction. Who knows what the heck they're doing to this stuff. I'm only talking today about fresh made fruit and vegetable juices that you make yourself in your home. I'm not even talking about like HPP juice or cold pressed juice you buy at your juice bar. I want you guys to make your juices fresh yourself, because the minute you break open the cell walls like we're doing here, the nutrients start to oxidize. And we're going to talk more about that in just a second. But before we do, I want to talk about another very important soluble fiber that it will be in your juice if you're juicing two very important root vegetables that I would encourage you guys to juice on a regular basis. And they are right here, yacon. I grew this yacon myself, and this is jicama. Both these have fructans, which are actually soluble fibers that actually feed the beneficial flora in your intestines. This is very critical for health, in my opinion, and most Americans simply do not eat enough fiber, both soluble and insoluble fiber. So if you're one of those guys that just eats a lot of meat, guess what? You're not getting fiber, and this juice will have way more fiber than a meal of just 100% meat, right? And I'm not saying that we don't need fiber. We absolutely need fiber, but there are more important nutrients, in my opinion, and based on my research and based on scientific studies, in the juice than just the fiber. So let's get into that next. So now I want to show you guys a published study that came out in 2013 from a university in Korea. And this actually talked about the influence of extraction method on quality and functionality of broccoli juice. So they took broccoli and they put the broccoli through a Kuvings slow juicer similar to this one. They also took that same broccoli and they put it through a high-speed centrifugal ejection style machine, and they took that same broccoli and put it into a blender that runs in excess or at 10,000 RPMs to basically grind it all up. Now and if I asked you, okay, which one is healthier? A lot of you guys would probably say, oh man, John, the blended stuff, that's way better because you got the fiber, you got the juice, you got everything in there, right? Well, that's not what this study showed. So let me go ahead and throw up some slides there for you. So what you're looking at now is actually the total polyphenol and flavonoid content of the juice or the blended mixture of the broccoli. And as you guys can see, the slow juicer had higher levels of polyphenols and flavonoids, even if it wasn't 100%, and extract everything out of the fiber. This published study shows that there's more polyphenols and flavonoids in the juice made with a slow juicer. Now, why would this happen? Well, if you think about it and you're kind of logical like I am, you would think, well, what's going on here? Why is the high speed or the blender have less polyphenols? Well, here's the thing, all these nutrients are locked inside the fibrous cells, and this is why they say cooking your tomatoes or cooking your carrots, you're going to get more nutrition out of them, because cooking destroys those cell walls and makes the nutrients available. It also destroys and lessens some of those nutrients at the same time. Whereas when you're using a juicer, you're not including the heat, and the juicer basically breaks open those cell walls and exposes the very valuable nutrients to air. And what happens at that point is oxidation. And because the blender runs in a constant cycle at a high speed and it's constantly sucking things in, there's more times the produce is basically hit with the blades, right? And there's more air being infused. So if, you're beating somebody up, right? You just hit them once, maybe they might have a bruise, but you beat them up 100 times, right? They're going to have bruises all over, and it's pretty bad. So, by constantly beating up the produce and having more blade contact time, you're going to oxidize it more. It's going to lower the nutrition, in my opinion. The same thing with a high-speed juicer. The high-speed juicer is spinning at 10,000 RPMs. It's going really fast. And once you put the produce in there, it's micrograded, and air is being flung all around it. It flies through the juicing stream, and then it comes out, and those types of juicers leave very little insoluble fiber in the juice, if any. And that also will lower the nutrition based on my opinions and based on the slide you guys just saw. And then finally, of course, the slow juicer, that runs at a slow process under 100 RPMs in this situation, maybe 60 to 80 RPMs. And so that's a much more gentler process, and it's not constantly hitting the produce like the blender is. So there's more polyphenols and flavonoids in a juice made with a slow juicer than a fast, high-speed juicer or a blender. Now this is all good because now we've seen by published research that there's more polyphenols in there, but what is the effect, of the polyphenols in a study, in a test, right? So they did testing in test tubes or petri dishes or however they do that, and we'll throw this slide up, and it showed that the antioxidant activity and free radical scavenging effects of the juice made in the slow juicer was higher than both the high-speed juicer and the blender, right? And so this is showing you the real actual effects. And so this is really important to me, right? Because oxidation occurs in our bodies all the time, and I want to have the most antioxidant properties in whatever I'm eating. So why, especially if you're overblending, that's really bad, why lose nutrients? And this is very important because even in this next slide I'll throw up, it shows that the anti-cancer activity when they took the juices of the slow juicer, the high-speed juicer, and the blender and put those in a petri dish with live active cancer cells. They use 6 different kinds of active cancer cells in the majority of the kinds of cancer. As you guys could see, the blue line, which is the slow juicer, had significantly more effect of the growth inhibition of the cancer cells. So I don't know about you guys, but it seems like every year, every few months, I hear of a friend of mine that I knew that loses their life of cancer. And do you want to have more cancer fighting ability, or do you want to get more fiber? And the choice is yours. I'm just here to share the information that I've learned, that I try to share with you guys, so you guys can be the healthiest you can be. And that's why I'm here today, in my opinion. I almost lost my life, and I take my health very seriously, as I believe every American and every person around the world, everybody watching this, should. Because you need to take your health into your own hands, because if you go to the doctor, in most cases, they're not going to tell you the healthiest things to do, in my opinion. And so I want to maximize the amount of polyphenols and flavonoids and antioxidants and cancer-fighting properties like the isocyanates and the lycopenes and the different lutein and zeaxanthins in all the fresh fruits and vegetables by extracting them the best way possible. And the best way possible, based on the studies I've seen, is by juicing them. And that's why I would encourage you guys to juice. Now, I'm not going to say you guys have to juice or not juice. Here's the thing. If you guys blend, you're losing nutrients. Now, the best juicers, you guys don't have to buy. The best juicers were given for free. It's our teeth, man. If you want to take the time to take your carrots and chew them into a mush so that it's juice and fine pulp, not just 2 chews and swallow. You want to chew every mouthful, like 100 chews until it's a mush, and then swallow it. You're going to get the best of both worlds with the fiber and the stuff totally broken down at low speed, but don't use the blender, right? That being said, as much as the blenders will reduce nutrition, I would much rather have you guys that eat a lot of fast food blend a green smoothie, blend a smoothie up, blend something up, and drink it instead of go out to fast food or even eat vegan junk food products, animal food product analogs or, all these just processed foods. We want to process the foods at home. We want to eat more fresh fruits and vegetables to get their benefits, right? So if you guys enjoyed this episode, hey, please give me a thumbs up. I'll do more episodes like this in the future. If you like this episode, be sure to support me and my work by making your purchase at discountjuicers.com. Also, be sure to check my past episodes. I have over 450 episodes on this channel demonstrating all different kinds of juicers, teaching you guys how to select your produce that you're going to juice, and all other kind of hints and tips how to clean the juicers fastest way possible. And I also have a lot of videos so you can choose the right juicer for you, because everyone's just a little bit different. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below to be notified new and upcoming episodes. You never know what juicers I'll be comparing or what you'll be learning on my channel. I have new videos coming out about every 5 to 7 days. So once again, this is John Kohler with discountjuicers.com. I think I'm going to enjoy my fresh carrot juice. It has some delicious soluble fiber in it. So be sure to visit discountjuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors. Alright, this is John Colo with discountjuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you, and what we're doing today is we're going to share with you guys the top 6 reasons why juicing is definitely better than blending. You know, I have made videos on this topic in the past, and be sure to check the links down below for some of the videos where I did about juicing.